Felicity from GetYourRockOut, and I'm here talking to Sylvia Lancaster. So how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Slightly warm, but apart from that, fine.
But you see, you've thought ahead and brought a fan. I mean, that's
Yes.
impressive going. I don't think anybody else here has managed to do that. They're doing well, but it's really, really good to see you here. And what, are you here just as a punter this weekend, or are you doing things here too?
No, we've got a stall,
Fantastic.
Sylvia Lancaster stall here, and hopefully get to talk to some people at some stage. Unfortunately, the music's too loud at the moment, but
Yeah. Always difficult when I think it's like constant music as well on each stage.
Yeah, but it's been brilliant.
Fantastic. And huge congratulations are in order. I mean, I know it was a few months back now, but getting this latest law passed in Manchester, I mean, that must have been unbelievable for you.
Oh, well, it was, really, as you can imagine, and we had to keep quiet, for a couple of months, and you
Seriously?
oh, yeah. So you sat on your hands, really. We'd been working with Greater Manchester for about 9 months, so we knew that it was coming up. And you can't tell anybody. So we're a bit, but we're exciting, And the press interest was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I think everybody picked up on the story, which was just incredible. I mean, I don't know, I think I've heard rumours that they're kind of thinking about trialling it because it's gone so well, they're thinking about introducing in other parts of the country as well.
Well, we have got other parts actually on board.
Oh, fantastic.
We've got Durham, West Sussex, Essex. I can't say overly much, but Lancashire will... you know what it's like, we're just waiting. So, yeah, we've got quite a few on board.
That's
West
absolutely
Mercia.
fantastic. Well done. I mean, I see you doing all these things, and it completely amazes me, because I think from your point of view, while it's wonderful to be able to do all these things, I mean, I genuinely don't know how you cope having to kind of bring back all the memories of it on a daily basis. I mean, do you still get that kind of stabbing feeling every time you think of like the awfulness, or do you more think that actually because you've done so much good with it, you can think about it in a kind of different way?
Do you know, it's quite an interesting question that, because I think what happens in the aftermath. It's all about that anger that's in, and you can't live with that, because that's not good for you, is it? It isn't, so you need to get rid of that. And how do you do that? Well, you get up there and you do what we did, because that's out there. And I think what happens now is it's shifted actually into a different phase, and it's now about being proud of her, and actually, it's a positive thing that you can talk about her. She doesn't go away, does she? Because she's always here.
No, not at all.
And actually, that's quite a privilege, because I know other mums and dads who've been in the same position don't have that outlet.
Yeah. Well, I think you can kind of go one of two ways. I think people either try and just suppress all the feelings associated with the event.
Yeah.
And again, it's not necessarily a good way of dealing with it. But I think to do what you've done and make sure that in a way that you're reminded of it to a huge degree on every day of your life, I just think it's an unbelievably brave thing to do.
And people say that, all the time, and I don't think it's brave. I think it's a mechanism for coping, actually. And you get young people and they'll go, oh, why did you do that without crying? And you think, well, yesterday I did cry, and today I didn't. It just depends what mood you're in, really, I think. But that becomes less and less as time goes on. Because it's true, what people say, time is a healer. And I don't go there, is the reality. I might stand up there and I'm talking about it, but it's not.
You're not in that headspace.
I'm not in there. Yeah.
And I mean, you're saying that you kind of had to let go of the anger. I mean, do you think that have you managed to do that towards the people that did it? Have you managed to let go of those feelings, or no?
No. No, and I don't think I ever will.
No.
And I'd love to be able to say, yeah, but I can't, and that's the truth. And I don't waste my time actually even thinking about them.
Well, that in itself, the fact that you can do that is, I think,
Yes.
a really, really, really good thing.
Yeah, you can't say that word. You put things in boxes. That would have been really good there.
I tried it like 3 times to say reunion before, I just couldn't do it. So it happens. But yeah, I think, and so do you? I don't know. I mean, when you kind of look at all that you've done with it, I mean, when you kind of started all the campaigning that you did you ever think that you'd be getting to the stage where you are now?
God, no. That's the truth. I look now and I think I can pick the phone up and talk to MPs and talk to Assistant Chief Constables and they listen, which is even more. No, I would never have dreamt it, actually, in a million years. But a lot of it, is down to the support that we get.
Well, like the amount that the community's got behind you, it just seems incredible.
It is. And I know, I've got all my hands up, that it's quite worrying that we've got so much support.
It puts a lot of pressure on you to constantly make the right decision, and
absolutely.
That can be very difficult.
Yeah, and we do the best we can and try our damnedest really to keep everything as positive and moving forward as we can.
I think from everything I've seen that you've done, I think that you've managed that, hugely. And I think that a lot of people in situations like this, they come out and it's all like vigilante justice, and they want this and they want this, and they're like, and it's done from a place of anger. And I think that there's a huge difference with what you do, and it's not. It's it's an informing, and it's spreading, kind of spreading positive messages rather than negative. And I think that in itself is hugely different from people that are coming out there and demanding this, and this. So I think that makes a big difference.
What you've got to do as well, and bear in mind, it is my background. Yes. I did work in that sort of area. I've got counselling qualifications, so
you understand how it works.
Yes, and that's massive, really, because what you can then do is sit back and go, whoa, hold on a minute, I can use this, and because your way around the system, really, so that helps. And it also helps that you can keep a blank face, smile nicely and talk reasonably, actually, because as part of the job that I've done, I've worked in youth offending teams, and obviously sometimes you feel like slapping them. I'm just being honest, but you don't, because that's not how it goes. And you use those skills in the work that we've done.
And it has, and I think that kind of definitely comes through, and I think anything that's done, I think if people see somebody and they're all very much angry and we want revenge, and that nobody's going to listen to that kind of a message. But I think you've just taken it into such a positive way, and you've just done so much with it. I mean, when you originally started it, what were your aims then? What did you think then? I mean, what were you planning then? Because I know it's going to taken off completely as a life of its own by now.
It does, actually. It grows by itself. Actually, it's a bit like Topsy. God, what did we expect? To get into schools, that was always been my big thing, and get that message out there to young people. Well done. As simple as you don't judge a book by its cover, and this isn't right, and that was our main thing. And obviously we look at the hate crime legislation, to get that 6th strand in there, and we're still battling, but we're making inroads on that as well.
That's incredible. How much can you tell us about that?
Oh, it all takes time, and it's actually in the ACPO manual, which is the Association of Chief Constables, and Sophie's case is in there, and it informs how they look at hate crime, and what it's saying to them is, you look outside the box. It's not just those 5 strands. So that's quite a big thing, really.
Yeah, definitely. And when it comes to the kind of your aims moving forward, I mean, do you tend to think about that, or do you very much just kind of plan for the near future and not years ahead?
Gosh, no, we don't have time. We don't have time to sit and think about years ahead. I know everybody goes, well, you need a 5-year plan. Well,
There's nothing more
no.
scary than doing a 5-year plan because you look at it and you think, what?
What? No. we sometimes we're a bit ad hoc, and I hold my hands up on that one. But we just really go with the flow and look at take the holistic approach to whatever we're doing. Obviously, I see ourselves in 10 years' time, obviously still being here and being a lot bigger and a lot, doing a lot more. That's what I would like, really. I don't have any grandiose ideas on that one.
But no, I think that there have been so many shifts in the law that you have brought around, and so much, and I'm assuming that work in itself is something that you're really focusing on and really want to continue.
Definitely, we've got. I don't think people quite understand. We work on different levels. We're in schools and colleges and universities, and that's a big part of our work. Then we have the conferences. We do lots of hate crime conferences. I think I've got about 3 or 4 in the next couple of weeks. And you're talking to big audiences, big professional audiences. And then we've got the law and the government and those issues on board as well. So we work across those levels, really. Yeah,
it's a huge amount of work.
It is.
It's incredible how how you manage to juggle so many things with it as well. It's just brilliant.
Oh, sometimes, I think, where am I today? And I've got to the stage now where I used to keep my eye on everything, but you can't do that now.
No, you
so
have
we've
to
got
learn
to split the things up, really. And and we've got the creativity, the creative side of it all, with the arts, the music, the books. I can't say much, but we're at the BBC having a meeting on Wednesday. So we've lots of things going on at the moment.
Fantastic, and that's really exciting.
It is exciting.
And when it comes to the school stuff, because I imagine it must be a hugely rewarding experience, the school side of things. I mean, do you have a particular success story or something that a child said that kind of sticks in your mind as being something that's really said to you, this is so right?
Do you know what,
there are too many?
This is going to sound really daft. I did a presentation to a group of young people, and as I was walking back, they were just getting on the coach, and this little girl, she must have been 10 or 11, and as I was walking past, she says to me, "Can I ask you something?" I went, "Yeah, of course you can." She went, "Are you all right about your daughter now?" And I looked at her, what do I say to her? Oh, lovely. She'd obviously taken on board what I'd said, but I hadn't got the words.
Bless her, yeah.
But she obviously felt she had to say something, and you just think, Or I always like it, when you get young people in a school and they'll go, "Oh, you've made me think differently," and that's fantastic. If we only get one in a class, but we don't actually, the impact actually that we have is quite embracing, really.
I mean, I think obviously this is the first time we've really met, but I think I can imagine that the kind of presentations that you're giving are just exceptionally honest, and I think there isn't nearly enough of that in schools nowadays. It's all very, very much. Actually, no, I just think it's very different. I think in schools, they maybe watch videos about something that has nothing to do with them whatsoever, and they're supposed to take messages from it, whereas I can imagine that your presentations are not like that.
I know, I hit them, and I hit them hard.
Yes.
And funnily enough, the honesty is the one thing that they always say.
Wow.
Always talk about that, about how honest you are.
Wow.
And I think that then gives them that two-way process, because it isn't just about me stood up there talking.
No.
It's about the interaction that we get from that. And they respect that, that honesty. Because we also use Beholder, as never take us down, as part of our presentation. Ramp that noise up. I can imagine, can't you, Brill? Because the majority of kids in that class can't be doing with heavy metal, so it's brilliant. They just sit there and listen to it.
I can picture the scene.
Can you imagine?
So
yeah, it's great.
That's absolutely fantastic. And like, you know, I mean, please feel free kind of not to answer this if it will be too painful a thing. And, you know, obviously having had no experience of this, I don't know what is okay to talk about. But I mean, when you kind of look back, I mean, what do you think that kind of Sophie would actually say to you about what you've been doing now? There's something that kind of sticks in your mind that you know you should just be.
Well, I have to say, it's really odd. Only a couple of weeks prior to the attack, I don't know what we were talking about, and she always said, I would never want my face on a t-shirt. Always said that. And I don't know whether you ever noticed, but our merchandise doesn't have a face on, because I know she'd be so angry about that, so we don't do that. But I often think, oh, she'd be going, oh, for God's sake, Mum, shut up now. Enough's enough. So I think, I don't know. I'd like to think she'd be proud of what we've done.
Yeah.
And her vain side, you know, because she was quite vain, you know, that she'd think, oh, God, that's cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like, you know, I mean, I guess names on wristbands are very different to faces on t-shirts.
Yes. I know, you know, when it first happened, somebody in America put a face on a t-shirt. Oh my God! And, we were proper upsetting because you think, oh, she'd gone mad. And bless them, obviously.
How do you say to?
Yeah. But we got them in the end, and they just really apologised. But yeah, people just think they're doing the best, and yeah.
No, it's been really lovely to talk to you. It really has. I mean, I'm sure that we'll probably end up seeing each other at a festival down the line.
I'm sure.
Bloodstock, most probably, actually.
No, we are not going this time because there's two on in a weekend. There's Rebellion and Bloodstock.
Of course,
yeah. And we were honoured enough last year to go to Bloodstock, so we're going to Rebellion this time. And I say it like that. I don't mean it like that, but
yeah, no, I know
it's inside and it's like a greenhouse. It's boiling at Rebellion, whereas at Bloodstock, obviously, you sat outside.
You are surrounded by wasps, though, Bloodstock, and at least you won't get wasps inside.
That's true. That's true. I might grow about 6 foot, but we'll see.
You know what? That's not a bad thing. I would love to grow about 6 foot.
It'd be great. That one. I would be fat then. It'd be great.
It's like there's a joke, isn't there, about the guy that goes on the BMI machine and he gets off and his wife's like, oh, what did it say? And he's like, yeah, it said I was 6 inches too short.
I know that feeling well.
No. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been a real pleasure. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, brilliant.